Hello and welcome in to Boonville today as we have this is a continuation of our hometown sports volume 2 high school football previews and we've got Coach Doc Crowley of Boonville. Man, appreciate you coming on with us today and
Absolutely.
talking some Boonville Bearcat football and man, I know that it's that time of the year for you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys being here and everything you guys do for high school sports in the state. And yeah, man, we're gearing up, getting ready to go, and looking forward to another fun year.
And it has been fun around here. There's
Yeah,
been a lot of wins
yeah,
here at Boonville, and I was talking to you about our top programs, and we won't give out where you guys are at,
yeah,
but um, because I've been able to go back and look since 2020, you guys have had a lot of success. Of course, I talked to the resident expert, Glenn Parrish. He let me
yeah,
know, give me some heads up about wins and all that, but you guys have. You have a state championship. I think what do you have a couple runners up in that
yeah,
time
yeah.
and 59 wins
That's right.
over that period of time, which is way up there. I don't want to give that away either, but it's way up there in the state. So you guys have experienced a lot of success over the last few years.
Yeah, man. We've been blessed. We got a lot of good kids that come through the program. Just some old, Boonville kids that love being a part of the program, and most of their family, some family member has played
Yeah.
here or, been a part of the program in some way. So uh, we got great kids, great coaches that, four of the six coaches on our staff, graduated here, played football here. So it's a cool thing. It means a ton to them. And, it's a really cool place to be.
Now, before we get too much into the conversation, we were going to have Hunter Warren, Rhett Needert, uh, Cutler Holler and Seth Wilson
Yeah.
here. They're going to talk with us about what it's like to play Boonville football as well. Boy, my eyes, I had to squint them eyes a little bit. Man, I'm getting old, Doc.
Yeah, me too,
Getting
man.
old, man. Uh, Talk to us about expectations here at Boonville. I mean, you guys have them, obviously. You
Right.
guys, I mean, right over here, we've got conference championships all over the wall. Right behind us here, we've got semifinalists, finalists,
Yeah.
championships. You got banners everywhere here. What's it like to be the head coach of a place with such expectations?
Man, it's awesome, really. There's no place I'd rather be. Expectations are always high. We want to win a conference championship every year, but the goal is to get to Little Rock and win it. And if we're not doing that, then we feel like we're not where we need to be. And last year was one of those years we didn't get there. We ran into a good team in Mansfield and did some did some stuff that was kind of out of character for our football team. And same thing at Fordyce, and Fordyce was just a very athletic team, and we felt like last year could have went a little bit differently, a couple plays here or there, but um, yeah, expectations are always really high here, and as they should be. And we're really excited about the group we have here. I think we've got 18 seniors, and one of the bigger classes we've had in a long time, and uh, a ton of good leaders. Our team chemistry feels like it's just through the roof. Never had a team that feels like this one does. So we're really excited about 2025.
Looking back at your 2024, you highlighted Mansfield loss there at Mansfield. Mansfield has had a nice run over the
Yeah.
last 2 years. A very good football team over there. You know, we had them last year when they and this fly is killing me right now. Um, that when they were at Bismarck last year.
Yeah.
Of course, that ended up being two teams that ended up being very far into the playoffs. And even though their number was not very high, I think they may have only had 20, 21
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
You could just see they had kids that could play
Yeah.
everywhere,
Sure.
and so they were good. And then, of course, as you know, when you have to go to Fordyce in the playoffs, that you got your hands full, no
Absolutely.
doubt. Just like if you have to come to Boonville, your hands are full. But 11 wins last year on the season. But as you said, you're always wanting a little bit more. You know, I talk to a lot of coaches, and one of the things almost every coach says, we want to play football the Friday after Thanksgiving.
That's right.
But here, I feel it's even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you want to play middle of December, and last year we went out in the quarterfinals, and it was the first time, I think we'd been quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, and um, you can get a little spoiled, especially you feel like you've got a team that can get there, and we didn't. We felt like we had that team last year that could get back there and play for another state championship, and just did some, you know, things that we didn't need to do in those two games that ended up costing us. And, we've addressed those issues and gotten rid of some of those issues. And, um, the senior class is really looking forward to try to get back and bring another state championship back here.
Yeah. Now you've said, and I've heard about the senior class ever since they were sophomores.
Yeah,
You have said that the team chemistry is very, very high for this
yeah.
group here. As a coach, what does that mean to you, and what do you think that means for a season?
It means everything, when you got guys in the locker room that are not only good football players, but great Christian men and do the right things off the field. You don't have to worry about things that you don't need to worry about. And
Sure.
it's just they're all really close. They've taken in this sophomore class and just really accepted them, and it's just they all get along really well. Not only here but away from here, and I think that just bodes well for Friday nights when you get out on the field. They love each other. They want to play for each other, and they're going to do everything they can to be as successful as they can.
Talk about some of your assistants. I know that you're the one everybody kind of looks to because you're the head coach, but I know that in the game of football, you got to have good assistants to make a program like this.
Absolutely, and we do, man. We got some really good ones. Aaron Kimes, he's one of them that graduated here. He was defensive coordinator for us, and just loves everything Boonville, and he does a phenomenal job. You won't find a guy that works harder than him. And then Chad Simpson and Jacob had a ball. They call the plays for us. They both graduated here as well, and they do a great job. And Cody Harrell, he was heck of a quarterback. He was on the 2013 state championship team, led that team to Little Rock, and he knows what it takes to get there. And then Darby Ulmer, me and him are the only two that aren't graduated from here. He's from Bryant. Um, but it's great, man. You don't have to, it's great for me because you just let those guys coach, and you know that they're going to do what's best for the kids, what's best for the community, and they do a great job of it. And without them, we wouldn't have the success that we have for sure.
When you start the season, you start at Poto
Yeah,
this year, and then your non-conference games at Ozark. Ozark's got a new
yeah,
head coach, a lot of fire going on there. You know that's going to be a fun one, and then versus Paris, which
yeah,
that's a Logan County rivalry there. Talk about your non-conference setup.
yeah. Since we've been playing here at Boonville, we always try to schedule the toughest non-conference that we can find that is going to prepare us to make a run in December. And both of them, Poto and Ozark, have two new head coaches, so it's going to be week zero. Will kind of be a little bit of the unknown. I know they're going to be ready to play, and uh, Ozark, Coach Watson, got a lot of respect for him. Coming off state championship last year at Salem, we've seen them at some team camps, and they obviously have made it a point of emphasis that they want to beat us, and I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's going to be that's how a rivalry should be, and I think those first two games are going to be uh, you know knockdown dragouts, I hope, and um, hopefully we can come out of those healthy, and then Paris is one of the biggest rivalries, old school rivalry that we have here, and to be able to get those guys back on the schedules, a great thing for both schools. So we'll see. We just want to come out of it healthy and be ready for conference play.
So I've heard now you're the second person I've heard that about Ozark that they're making it a point
Yeah,
to say, hey, beat Boonville.
yeah,
But like you said, rivalry on the field, sure, it can be hot, it can be heated off the field. We're all people,
right,
right? I mean,
right.
at the end of the day, we're all people. But Ozark wants to beat you. You guys want to beat Ozark. I know Glenn Parrish is keeping tabs
Yeah,
on how many times you guys have beat the team up north. I love that, you
yeah,
know.
sure.
And, you know, I played at Ozark a little bit myself, so I understand it. I understand the rivalry there, and it's a good one.
It is a good
It's a
one.
good one.
Those guys do a good job over there. We're, close with several of them, and a lot of respect for them. And I know Coach Watson's going to do a good job. He is very fiery, and those kids, you can tell a difference. They play, team camps and stuff. They've been playing hard and getting after it, and I expect a good one over there. Week one, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, you got your hands full over there for sure. Of course, your non-conference or your conference, I should say, 3A1. You got an improving Hackett team there, an improving Greenland team. But you know, when it gets right down to it, there's 2 weeks in the season that you're going to be looking at, and that's October 24th and October 31st.
Yeah,
Those two games are really going to have a bearing, and you are here versus Mansfield, and then you're just right up the road at Charleston.
yeah. Those two games are. I feel like our conference, you got three teams that are in the top 7 or 8 the last 2 years, and I feel like any one of those three teams could to make a run and go win it. And yeah, we looking forward to week 9 or week 8, week 9, and hopefully we're in a good position to uh, put ourselves in a position to I think our kids understand after last year losing to Mansfield and then having to go on the road to Fordyce how important it is to try to win that conference
Hmm.
championship and play here where it's just a place like no other and you got a great home field advantage. So um, yeah, our conference, man, those two teams are tough, but those other teams, Hackett, Greenland, Lavaca, West Fork, a lot of those teams are improving, and they've got new head coaches. I think there's 2 or 3 new head coaches in our conference, so some unknowns, but they'll do a good job, and it'll be a fun year.
Conference play is always, you know, everybody thinks you got it figured out. You know, if you look at everybody looks at the preseason, they say, well, Boonville's going to win 3A1, and then you'll have Mansfield and Charleston are going to fight it out. I mean, this is what people say. This is how
Right?
they talk, but you know how it goes.
Yeah,
The game's played on the field.
absolutely.
And you know that rivalry there with Charleston. I mean, we're looking at that game ourselves on October the 31st as a possibility of going over there and doing that ball game because I mean that one's going to have a lot of playoff implications on it, especially if you guys are able to beat Mansfield the week before. But you still got to win those games coming up to that time for that to mean a lot.
Yeah, yeah, we got to play well, and that's the non-conference schedule. Hopefully, gets us ready for those first 5 or 6 conference games, and then we get to play Mansfield out here. And Coach Overton has done a really good job over there. They've got some really good players. They got most of them back. They've lost a couple, but yeah, and then going on the road to Charleston, their quarterback is very special.
Yeah.
He's a good one, and he's got some really good pieces around him. So we're going to have to play well, and just try to get better every week. We tell our kids all the time. I really feel like the only team that can get in our way is ourselves. And that may sound cliche or whatever, but if we'll do what we want to do, I feel like we got as good a chance as anybody. But if, like you said, that's why you play the game on the field. And both those teams have some really good players, really good coaches. So it'll be a battle, but that's what you want. You want to be tested, and those two teams will definitely test you.
What do you think it is? And I want you to kind of take the big perspective here. Conference championships since '82, you've got them over here. What is it that? What would you say the one thing that Boonville does that makes you guys so successful? I mean, you know, we talk about Ozark, we talk about Charleston. Those are your two chief rivals. If you look over the history of that, Boonville has a decided
Yeah.
advantage in both of those rivalries. So, what is it that Boonville does to be able to win games like that year after year?
I mean, and sometimes it ends up hurting us, but we practice really physical,
Yeah,
and I mean, even week 10, 11, 12, we're out full pads, get tackling each other. And, we just want that to be our mindset is no matter what, we may not be the best team on the field, but we're going to be physical. And so we practice, 3 days a week in pads and get after it and tackle, and we're tackling every day. And uh, you can ask a lot of the kids, the practices sometimes they feel like are harder than the games, and that's um, and it's cost us sometimes too. We've gone out here and gotten kids hurt that rolled an ankle or something like that, but um, we want them to be physical, and I think that's one thing that has won a lot of games for us is just our mentality and practice. Um, being physical and taking that mindset to the field on Friday nights.
All right, final question for you. We're going to bring players in and talk a little bit about that with them. But um, what will make a successful season here at Boonville?
Yeah, it's a state championship. That's kind of where we're at. Obviously we want the conference championship first, um, and our kids know after last year, that conference championship sets you up for you know, playing most of the games
Hmm.
right out here on your home field. So that's the number one goal. But at the end, we want to be in Little Rock and playing, you know, home side or away side. It don't matter. We want to be down there that Saturday at noon and have a chance to play for it and bring one back and make our community proud. So that's I think what everybody in that locker room would say too. So
Coach Doc Crowley joining us here on the Hometown Sports Preseason Preview. We're going to bring in some of the players now. Just bring them in however
alrighty,
we need to come in, Coach. I
appreciate you.
appreciate you
Thank
joining
you,
us,
thank
man.
you, brother.
So we got the coach. He's going to go out and get a couple of the players, bring them in. We're going to have two at a time here. I believe it's going to be Seth Wilson and Cutler Holler together, and then Rhett Needert and Hunter Warren are going to come in together as well. Aaron Powers over here doing his thing, pushing all the buttons.
Yeah, they can't hear me, but I think it's pronounced Taylor.
Did you say? Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'll,
I know.
I'll
I looked at it too, but when he said it,
okay. I'll make sure. So here we go. We got a couple players coming in. We'll let them introduce themselves, and we'll talk some Boonville Bearcat football. Come on in here. All right. So I I gotta think. This is. Go ahead. Grab your headsets here. There you go. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves to the world here.
I'm Seth Wilson,
Okay.
linebacker and fullback, all state.
And you are
My name is Cutler Haller. I play
Howler.
the D line.
Okay. That's what we were just talking about. How do you say your name, your last name, Howler? So,
Yes, sir.
all right. So I said something about your shorts earlier. You said, they're not. So I'll just tell you, I don't know if you saw him come in. You might have. He's got black shorts with a white paw, number 52. And I said something about that being Charleston. You said,
Yeah,
that
no,
ain't no,
sir.
That ain't no Charleston there. So, well, let's talk about what it's like to play for Boonville football because you guys do have such a tradition, and you know it really is a tradition that does transcend this area. I don't even know if you know this or not, but I mean, I guess it was just a couple years back. You guys were rated like number 66 in the country as far as like top football programs in the nation. Um, we're coming out with a list of top 25 programs. I won't give away where you are, but you're up there.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you guys have I mean, it's not just a tradition here in Boonville, but it's a tradition that's recognized across the state. So what is it like to play for a program like that?
It's awesome, man. It's like you got the whole town around you at all times, and just everyone supporting you. Everyone here is so close. It's awesome.
I don't think there's another feeling like it. Boonville football is a really big thing in this town, and community. It's community built. Like it starts with the community, and yeah, there's nothing like playing for Boonville.
So I feel like Arkansas football is, I mean, still the king of Arkansas is football, right? But there are a few places in Arkansas that feel like Texas, and this is one of them. It's just the way it's followed. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Varsity
Oh,
Blues.
yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm not saying that all the hijinks goes along with that, but if you've seen it, it like West Canaan, Texas, it kind of feels that way. That you guys are just y'all are there's just everybody's so into it. We've been here on a Friday night. In fact, we were here last year. Who do you remember who they played last year? I'm asking the wrong person. I know that we were here for a Harding Academy game a couple years back, and who was it that y'all played? Ozark. It was
Ozark?
Ozark. Yeah, y'all played Ozark last year, and you guys, y'all handled them. I actually played at Ozark for a little bit. I didn't finish there, but I know about this rivalry here with Ozark, and let's talk about. I want y'all to talk about the two rivalries that I mentioned. You can throw Mansfield into this wash as well. What's it like to play against those type of rivalries? Ozark, Charleston, and Mansfield.
Well, when you play teams like that, like going into that week, that there's gonna be a lot of preparation at practice, and practice is gonna be turned up like really intense. But the whole town is into it, and they're ready to win too.
Yeah,
You know, they we just gotta win. So
Yeah, definitely. Practice is a big thing. Like, we're gonna go out there and it's gonna be a good preparation. I mean, they're good. They're good talent. So
oh yeah,
we gotta be prepared. And like you said, it ain't just a football thing. It's the town. Like the whole town wants you to win that
right,
game.
right. You guys go to Ozark this year. You go to Charleston this year, and you got Mansfield home. Mansfield beat you last year there at their place, and that really kind of set the trajectory for them and for you guys as well, where you ended up having to go to Fordyce. Coach Crowley talked about how that kind of the emphasis this year is, hey, look, we need to win this conference championship so that we don't have to go to Fordyce in the quarterfinals and places like that.
yeah. I think we get a first round bye if we win the conference too
Yeah.
this year. So that'd be really nice.
Yep. Winning the conference will definitely help. So
So
it's a big thing.
Coach Crowley talked about practice, and you guys have already touched on practice a little bit and how physical practice is. Talk about what it's like to have to get through not only the fall camp, but then in the season when you're having to knock the crap out of somebody else on Friday night, turn around. Y'all practice Sunday or you practice Monday?
Monday.
Monday.
So come back on Monday, you got to knock the crap out of each other again.
Yeah. We're always like beating up on each other,
Yeah.
but we try to stay up at practice,
Yeah,
and like I don't know, sometimes coach will kind of keep it away from hitting drills as much and
sure.
kind of get us hungry for Friday, and then when Friday comes, we're ready to just rip someone's head off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely physical on practice days, but I mean, it's kind of got to be that way to prepare yourself. Just giving 110% effort every day. It definitely helps.
Well, he said that he wanted to make practice harder than games, so that when you played the game,
It's easy.
it's
Yeah,
easy. And
feels easier.
is that
Yes, sir.
something that y'all experience here at Boonville?
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Uh, I don't. I counted. You got 24 conference championships on the wall over here. I don't even know if you've got them all up there or not. Um, do you guys feel the weight of that expectation every year?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yeah.
expected every year.
Yeah.
100%.
It's definitely the standard.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. I
yeah.
think that's a good way to put it. The standard is conference, and then
Yep.
you go from there. Of course, before you go there, you got to beat Ozark, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And
Now,
Poto.
right, Poto.
Poto.
That's right. Before Ozark is Poto, you got to win that game too. So, anyway, I'm going to
Yes,
ask
sir.
each one of you this before I send you out and go get the other two.
Uh,
What will be a successful season at Boonville this year?
an undefeated season, state championship season.
There you go.
Definitely just getting back to a state championship, coming home with the trophy.
All right. Seth Wilson, Carter Howler here, talking with us about Boonville football. We're going to bring in Rhett Needert and Hunter Warren. And guys, appreciate you coming in and
Nice
talking
talking
with
to you,
us.
man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yeah. So we got the other two coming in here in just a moment. We want to say thank you to Dr. Andrew Daniel for making this possible. And Aaron, we need to. It's that number is 675, not 685. Sorry about that. Anyway, 675-2700 there, and we've got Rhett Needert and Hunter Warren coming in here talking with us a little bit, and um, I'm just going by numbers here. I got Rhett right here, I assume, right? Okay. Is your mic on here? We good? He good? Go ahead and talk in it real quick.
All right.
Here,
Am I
let's
good?
get a little closer to your mouth. That'll help you. There
Okay,
you
good.
go. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right, so we've got Rhett Needert and Hunter Warren here talking some Boonville Bearcat football. I I know you guys are smash mouth no matter what it is, but there's something about the Boonville offense. You guys are known year after year after year after year as being a smash mouth team. So let's talk about it from the quarterback perspective here. What's it like, and what is the mentality that you take in as the quarterback? Quarterbacks aren't known as a smash mouth, right? You're the guy that needs to run the offense, but I mean, I know in your mind somewhere you feel like you probably can truck a linebacker every once in a while, right?
Of course, of
Yeah,
course. If you don't got that mentality here, you're at the wrong place
right,
for sure.
exactly.
So really, just the main mentality is, especially here, you gotta lead your guys, and you gotta get them set up. You gotta get them ready every play. Um, you just gotta make sure everyone knows exactly what they're doing. Everyone knows exactly where they need to be, and also like tempo. Tempo is a big thing. We go pretty fast, stay in condition, and yeah, we're constantly on the ball, constantly attacking people.
Hunter, you play a huge role in this offense as the fullback. You're kind of what everything's predicated off of. Talk about what it's like to be that guy. Not only are you a fullback, but you're a linebacker too. So, I mean, you're just giving and taking all day long, right?
Yes, sir. Being the fullback means I have to be the toughest guy on the field, and if I'm not the toughest guy on the field, then something's definitely wrong. Um, I know the offense is based around me, and knowing that going into every game means I have to be playing my best, otherwise we won't win.
Yeah, that fly, man,
I
has
know.
been bothering me too. Um, I've asked the other ones. I've asked Coach Crowley about it. Of course, you got Poto first, but Ozark there. I know that. Are y'all one that won't even say Ozark? You'll just say the team up north. I've
No,
heard
no.
that. I've heard that from the golf kid that was here a couple years back. He
Mhm.
he talked about he wouldn't say Ozark. He would just say the team up north. But it's a good rivalry there.
Mhm.
It's traditional. It's traditional rivalry there. What's it like? What are your thoughts? Because I've heard from a couple people now that Ozark ends every practice. Every 7-on-7 they end with beat Boonville. So they're pointing at you on September the 5th. They've got a new situation there. They've got a new mindset there. But you're still Boonville, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, for sure. So they're a really good team. They got a really good coach. They got a new weight program going on, and they're gonna be good. I mean, I wouldn't say any of us are looking forward to a certain game. We know that every team that we play, they're gonna be good and they're gonna want us. That's just part of being a Boonville, wearing Bearcats across your chest,
Right.
representing your town. You're gonna want to be attacked. The only team we want to face is the team right in front of us, and we want to be in state. That's the only game we're looking forward to.
Spoken just like a good quarterback right there. Nice job. Nice job. Good answer right there. What about you?
Ozark, I mean, it's just like any other team to me. Yeah, they're going to be really good, really tough, but that's why we play them because they are going to be good competition to prepare us for the playoffs. Really, I'm not really looking forward to any game. I'm looking forward to a good season and just play my butt off my senior year. So
You guys have a group of 18 seniors. You guys are part of that group here. What's that like? You guys have grown up together, I assume, probably playing Pee Wee together all the way up. You got 18 of those guys. I mean, gosh, that's a great number for a senior class in a 3A
Yeah.
school. Uh, Coach talked about the togetherness of that group. Tell me a little bit about that.
We are so close knit. Like, I mean, every single one of these guys will fight for each other, 100%. Um, we just grown so close. I moved here in 8th grade, and I mean, I've just been taken in like a brother. I mean, I did play football a little bit for like
Yeah.
1 year here, but yeah, I've just been taken in, and it's just I think that right there, especially with the O line and the backs, it's so close. Everyone is so close. We love each other. We'll fight for each other, and I think it's gonna help us big time here when season starts.
yeah, I mean, Seth Wilson, the guy he had in here, I've known him since pre-K,
Oh
and me
wow.
and him, like, oh, that's my brother right there.
Yeah.
And in the weight room, we're all, I mean, we're hype. We're trying to get everybody up, and just the closeness is I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's unmatched.
I think, going into a season, if you've got that closeness, if you're close knit, you play for each other, every game, every snap, every play, you're trying to make it happen. And I'm sure that you have players that will contribute in other classes, but having that kind of experience with 18 seniors is really, in football, there's probably no greater. Well, you can't replace experience. You just can't.
No.
I mean, I know that ability does help a lot. I mean, I know that you can bring in a young kid and he's just super fast or whatever, but man, that experience and knowing what you're going to face each and every week is a big deal. I want to ask you real quick as we wrap this thing up here, what will make a successful season here at Boonville?
State championship.
State chip. Yep.
So you all say that, and I'm just telling you, not everybody says that.
Mhm.
Okay, which obviously not everybody has the ability to even get there. I mean, a lot of people get into the playoffs, being one of the top 4 or 5 teams or whatever. But each one of you, coach, and all 4 of you players, without hesitation, state championship, state championship. Now, and I keep teasing this a little bit here, but we have done a top 25 programs number, and we're getting to the point I'm almost done with it. And I've got Boonville's number. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's up there. It's way up there. And the thing is that when I hear that from you, and when I hear that from you, and then the other guys, it lets me know why. Because you guys have that expectation, the expectation going into it that we are a state championship level team, and really, if we fall short, that's really we've been a little bit disappointed this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole team kind of goes off the motto, like winning feels really good, but losing sucks.
Right.
And we're not here to lose games. Like no matter what we do, everyone in that locker room, we could be playing rock paper scissors. We're here to win games.
Right.
And I feel like that really just shapes our culture, and it really just shows like where we are. And I hope after this year, maybe we'll get bumped up a few more spots in y'all's ranking.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Man, appreciate you
Yes, sir.
guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you guys for
Yes,
joining
sir.
us. The Boonville Bearcats have joined us here on our Hometown Sports Volume 2 preseason football preview, and it's been a great time over here at Boonville. Well, gosh, we've spent 30 minutes plus talking to you guys about football. So, anyway, we're looking forward to what happens with Boonville and all the other teams throughout the state, and be looking for our top 25 programs. We'll be putting that out. First one comes out August the 4th. That'll be number 25. That will come out August the 4th. And we're going to release those each day from here until the first day of football season, which is August the 28th. And that is the kickoff. And I believe it's between Palestine, Wheatley, and Clarendon. So, want to make sure that you stay tuned to us on Facebook for that. And we will talk to you soon. You've been watching the Hometown Sports preseason preview right here at Boonville.